Hello and welcome to another episode of the SNA podcast. I'm your host Alex, and today I've got with me one of the producers, Wakas. Hello, Wakas.
Hey, how are
Hi,
you?
mate. All right, mate. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good.
Good, man.
Here to talk about
So
last night.
yeah, that's what today's episode is going to be about. Today's episode is going to be about the Italy-England game last night, the Euro 2020 final. Italy eventually winning on penalties against England, 3-2. Bukayo Saka unfortunately missing the decisive penalty, and Italy win the European Championship. So I guess we'll start by talking about the game in the 90 minutes. So just a quick summary of the game. So we went 1-0 up. Well, we England went 1-0 up early. Luke Shaw striking on the volley, in off the post. Donnarumma couldn't do anything about it. 1-0 up, dream start. And then the game just sort of England played really well for the first half. And then second half, 1-0 at half time. Second half, unfortunately, we concede. Bonucci equalises for Italy after a header is saved by Pickford really well onto the post, and then Bonucci taps in for 1-1, and then the game just sort of peters out into extra time. Extra time comes and goes, nothing really happens in extra time. On to penalties.
And that
Hurricane scores the first penalty. Sorry, yeah,
no,
sorry,
no,
Wakas.
go on.
Yeah, Hurricane scores the first penalty. Everything's looking good. Italy actually missed their first penalty, but then Italy score, we miss, and then we miss again, they score, and then Pickford saves the penalty, but then we miss three consecutive penalties after that. Well, no, two penalties after that, sorry, after Rashford misses his, and then Sancho and Saka both miss their penalties. Saka misses the decisive penalty, and we lose the Euros in the final. What are your thoughts on the game, Waka? Sorry that were a bit of a long intro.
no. The game, I would say it was really entertaining to watch, especially in the beginning of the game. You know when Luke Shaw scored, and then in the last few minutes, it was so scary. I don't know how. I was watching as a neutral. It was really energetic though, and as Ibrahim said in the last episode that they aren't gonna attack as much and they're just gonna stay back. I think he was kind of right because they didn't attack as much. Both teams were really like careful.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I think England started really well. The first half went absolutely probably according to plan, and in the second half we just weren't there. We weren't pressing, we weren't attacking, we weren't. The energy level seemed to drop, and then like towards the end of the game we started to get back a bit, and then extra time we looked okay, but just Chiellini and Bonucci, every single time England looked like they were about to create a chance or even score,
Yeah.
Chiellini and Bonucci were there, and Chiellini nicked the ball off Raheem Sterling two or three times when it looked like it was a certain goal. So great defending from Italy, as you say. Not many chances created in the game. I mean, I can remember Chiesa whipping one round and Pickford saving, and then Pickford sort of batting the ball away with his fist.
Yeah.
But apart from the two goals, there weren't really many chances created. Can I just say, Wackers, like the game finished at about 11 o'clock. Like, are you not 2 hours in front?
3 hours in front.
Sorry.
So it was
Okay.
like it was no. So it was like I think it was like about 2 a.m. when the game ended. So
Wow. Wow. Well, that is dedication for a football fan, I tell you. But
Why?
Uh, yeah, I mean that's the game in general. I suppose. I don't know who do you think England's best player was? I think for me it was probably Luke Shaw or Declan Rice.
Yeah, yeah. I was actually gonna say Declan Rice. He was
Yeah,
really good, and I think without his dribbles and interceptions, Italy would have definitely scored more goals. Definitely, I think it was just like the game was a bunch of what ifs. Like, for example, when you know what who's a good shout for man of the match, Karen Trippier. His cross was amazing, and like I said, a game of what ifs. For example, when Gareth Southgate named his lineup, most England fans were a bit disappointed, yeah, with his selections. Leave
yeah.
Saka out, but then he got some things wrong, Southgate. He got some things right. It was like a bunch of what ifs, and yeah. So you you would think, imagine if Southgate brought him off. The game would have gone so much different. Like it was a game of what ifs, which is
It,
something that
it, it,
go
so
go
yeah,
go.
so yeah, it was. I mean, when I looked at the lineup, because I knew the lineup a few hours before because it was leaked, so
Yeah,
I had a feeling that Trippier might be in, but I mean, it actually paid off to have Trippier in the team because I thought Trippier was probably one of our better players, as you said. He put the cross in for the goal early on. And
yeah.
in general, he had a really good game. Probably the best I've seen him play since 2018 season for Tottenham. When I've seen him play in
Oh,
person. Um,
yeah.
so
I'd agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah,
No. Okay. So do you know who I think made the game like decisive?
Who?
The two wing backs, because Southgate loves his wing backs. He brought like
Yeah.
four. He got four right backs, and I think now we might have an idea on why he got four right backs. Um, he loves his right backs. He loves his like left like because till they play a five at the back. I think it was a five at the back. Yeah.
Well, it's either three at the back or three at the back with wing backs or five at the back. It's whichever. I see it as a five at the back. I mean, if you're playing three centre backs and two wing backs, for me that's a five at the back.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll
So
say five. We'll say five.
yeah. So he loves his wing backs, and I think now we had an idea on why. His wing backs made the game decisive, and ultimately, I think some players in the England team let them down. I don't want to say some names, but some of the penalties were really poor. But you know what was even more poor? Southgate's penalty decisions. Why on earth would you let 19-year-old Bukayo Saka take like a decisive penalty? I would never like imagine there was a decisive penalty. If you miss, would you rather someone 10 years younger than you taking the penalty? Like so, like
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that to a certain extent, but also I commend Saka for stepping up. Like it takes balls basically to step up at 19 and take a decisive penalty in a European Championship final for England. That takes real courage. I'd just like to say a quick thing about the racism and the abuse. I
yes,
don't stand for it. It's awful. It's unnecessary. There's no need for it. At the end of the day, it's a game of football. We all feel sad, disappointed, gutted, devastated, but there's no need to be racially abusing Bukayo Saka at 19 or any age, but especially at such a young age when you can see he's already so upset, he was crying on the pitch. you can see that. There's no need to then add to it and start being racist. And it'd be, like, I was disappointed with him. It were a poor penalty. You know, I was disappointed that it was such a poor penalty. To miss 3 penalties in a row, I was pretty annoyed. I was like, but at the end of the day, you know, well done for him stepping up, and I'm sure you know he'll have a fantastic Arsenal career, a fantastic England career. I know this is a Tottenham podcast. We don't really be talking good about Arsenal, but it's true. It's true. He'll go on to have a great career. He's already won the FA Cup. He's achieved so many good things. So obviously, I won't be, wanting him to do well next season, in particular. But I hope he comes back stronger from this, from an England point of view, because he's got all the talent in the world, and I think he's been probably one of our better players in the tournament. So well done, Saka.
Yeah. So well done, Saka. He was. I thought it actually took like plenty of balls to go on and step up to take the penalty. Yes, but you shouldn't be having that decision in the first place. But let's move forward with the next thing.
Yeah, I mean we can't look back. You know, like Oasis, we can't look back in anger. I don't know if you'll get that reference, but we just got to move on. A bit like Tottenham when they lose the final. We just got to move on, or lose a big game, or whatever. You know, we've had it plenty of times for Tottenham before. Just got to move on.
Yeah.
But, so that's the game. That's the game wrapped up. I mean, I don't think there's much else to say about that, but I just wanted a quick discussion about, since this is a Tottenham podcast, I suppose we'll talk about Tottenham. Sorry about that noise. Talk about Tottenham for 10 or so minutes. I just, full focus is back on Tottenham now. Pre-season, transfers, outgoings, Paratici, Nuno. It's all back to Tottenham now. So, I'm expecting to see some movement in the transfer market. Hopefully this week with Tommy Asu. I expect him to be signed by the end of the week. Obviously, I'm not in the inside sales, but just from the things I'm reading, hopefully it's been wrapped up soon. I mean, it's been going on quite a few weeks now, and also with the Euros over now, people will be going back to the clubs and the futures will be getting sorted out. So the likes of Savitzer, Renato Sanchez, Damsgaard, Myler, Vestergaard, Anderson, Milenko, all these players we've been linked with that have been at the Euros. Hopefully their futures will be sorted out relatively quickly, and including our star striker Harry Kane. I don't know what's going to happen with him. I'm guessing he's going to go on his holidays now for a bit and then come back pre-season at Tottenham, but I don't know what's going to happen with him. I mean, Daniel Levy's pretty certain he's not going to sell him, and I wouldn't sell him. But if it gets to that point where he's really knocking on the door for a move, and we can't stop him, then yeah, I would, so I wouldn't be trying to sell him. But if he really wants it, and he's kicking up a fuss towards the end of the window, then let him go. I don't think he will. He's not that type of guy, but if we can get 150 million for him, then yeah, I'll take that. I mean, I don't want to let him go, like I say, but that's the sort of money that'd tempt me. So yeah, I don't know what you think about Tottenham's situation, Wakas.
Okay, so what I was gonna say, and then what I've been told with the sources that we've got, that Aston Villa have interest in signing Harry Winks, and apparently, if Grealish goes to City, they will definitely have a strong interest in him. Okay, and to all Villa fans, he's the next Kevin De Bruyne. Okay, so you would love him, yeah. Okay, so
I mean, yeah, I think he'll be playing with De Bruyne. I mean, that's a scary thought. Grealish, De Bruyne, Kane, Sterling, Mahrez. They've got so many options. It's quite crazy, but yeah.
so yeah.
So forgive me. I don't know when the first pre-season game is. Is it 17th?
21st.
21st. Right. Okay.
I think the
21st.
21st to 17th. I think we've got 2 games in a week. if I can, sorry. So if I can check fast, we've got a game against Leyton Orient on the 17th on Saturday. We've got a game on Wednesday, July 21st against Colchester. You know what happened the last time we faced them. And
Oh God,
yeah,
that is
yeah. And then MK Dons, and then we come back for a there. Have you heard that preseason tournament?
yeah against Arsenal, Chelsea.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like charity for like mental health stuff. And also Tottenham are close to agreeing a stadium naming rights deal, which could be exciting, you know.
It could. I mean, we need money. We need money desperately. We need money, whether that's for the club, to keep it running sustainably. 'Cause I know we've taken massive losses in this last year or so, or whether it's just out transfers. I mean, something I read last night before, after the game, was we're close to agreeing a naming rights deal, like you say, but we're going to lose a big player. That's what it said.
Oh
Now,
yeah. Do you know who the big player is?
no,
I do. Okay, so it's not, it said big player off the pitch. So some staff member I
oh,
just
it's Simon
communicated.
Goldstein, isn't it?
Yeah, he's like a star player. Like no one cares.
I mean, sorry, he, sorry, that's made me chuckle. He was, he's like the chief liaison officer, I think. Like,
Yeah,
whenever a manager does a press conference, he's the one that sat beside them.
yeah. Him, that guy.
So, yeah. He's actually been at the club for a long time, like 15 years, something like that. So,
Yeah.
that'll be a sad day for him personally, but we won't miss him too much because obviously we don't know much about him or what, but like, as long as it's not a player, when it said, oh, losing a big player, I thought it was going to be like Sean or Kane or Lloris, but
Yeah.
we won't lose Son because he's signed a new contract. Lloris might do one more year than Kane, probably. I don't know what's going to happen with him, but yeah, anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, so there is also one last thing we found. There has been many found on Twitter that found a TikTok video of Daniel Levy with his daughter, and
Yeah.
the whole comment section were spammed Levy out. It was so funny.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, I've seen that. That guy, there were like a quote tweet saying he's doing more on TikTok than he is in the transfer window,
Yeah.
which is true at the moment. I expect deals to start accelerating, and now that the Euros is over, we can
Yeah.
focus on tying Tom down to a new contract. That's got to be one of the first things we do. It's been going on months. It's only close to signing a contract. It's close to signing a new contract. That's every week. But
Yeah.
how close is it? Like that close it had been done weeks ago. But so yeah, I expect Tommy Asu to be wrapped up by the end of the week, hopefully. And then, because Alistair Gold did say that we're prioritising the defence first before any other position strengthen. So I expect like Tommy Asu to be signed. Apparently, Tommy Asu is going to be played as a right back.
Yes.
So I'm guessing it'll be him and Doherty, and with Aurier out. And then I reckon we'll sign two centre backs. And then after that, we'll go on to maybe a couple of midfield players and maybe an attacker. We need a backup striker because Vinicius is gone. So I don't know who you'd want as a backup striker.
Hmm.
Who would you want?
I'd say, who I'd say would be like a really good signing is what's his name again? I've got to like find like players that are like free agents because Paratici loves his free agents. Top
Yeah.
three. Okay, so I think that if we get like a good player, oh, I forgot about him. Lautaro Martinez. I know that sounds so dumb. But look, this is why I think it might be a good like deal, because Inter are in debt. And it's like that's why Antonio Conte walked, because they told them, look, we can't sign any more players. We've got to sell our players, and I think if we like, because I've heard that we've had 50 million bid for Kunde. I think if we will sign Kunde for 50 million, then why can't we do Lautaro? He should be around 50 million, if not cheaper.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I think it's a good suggestion, but I think if am I allowed to disagree with, like, I think there's a couple of problems with that. First is backup tower. An elite striker like that won't want to be backup to Harry Kane, so if we were to sign him, we'd have to play two up front. And secondly, if he got an option, this is what I was saying to Charlie on the first episode
Yeah.
about like the player wanting to come to Tottenham. Like if he got an offer from like I don't know Real Madrid or something like that, for example, or even like Man United, Man City, I don't think he'd choose Tottenham on them. So I think that's the problem we've got for elite players. But it's a good suggestion. I think the only way that we'll sign Lautaro Martinez is if Harry Kane leaves. I think that's the only way it's going to be done. I don't think he'll be a backup striker, right? But you never know. You never know. It's a good
Yeah, that's
suggestion.
really fair. But like, you I was like on the spot. I couldn't find any good players. I think also Turam.
Yeah.
Now, but would he want to be backup? I don't think so. There aren't very good players on the market right now. I can't seem to think of any. I think my brain just froze. But yeah, we need a striker. We need do we need a replacement for Ericsson?
Well, we still have, it depends what formation Nuno plays. I mean,
I think it's 5-5-2. I think it's like
okay.
five. That's 5-5-2. I think it's like something like that.
That'll be 12 players though, so it's,
Okay, I'm so dumb. Okay, yeah, so yeah, okay. Okay, you can carry on.
yeah, I mean, just on the signings thing, it just depends what formation Nuno plays. I mean, if we're playing a three at the back, then we've got to, I know you can adapt formation, it doesn't just mean that you're going to play that formation all season, but like, we need to have like one concrete formation that we're going to be playing regularly.
Yeah.
Say for example, we play three at the back regularly, right? So we need probably two centre backs and then move two centre backs out. And then we need a central midfielder, Aouar, hopefully, or Renato Sanchez, either one. And then move like Sissoko out. And then like if we put that's two up front, so we'll play Kane, probably play Son there, and then like two backup strikers. So it's like just depends who we sign, I suppose, and what formations played. That's the only thing I can really think of to say
Yeah,
about that.
yeah, I agree. So, yeah, it has to do with his formation and his tactics. And I remember in the first episode you said that Adama Traore and Pedro Neto would be like a good shout from Wolves. And
Oh yeah,
I think that Neto, he can go up to striker. I think he can. I think he's more versatile than Traore. So I'd say if we can sign Neto for arguably 30 million, we sign two centre backs, we sign Tomiyasu, and then we sell some dead wood, then it's done. And we're back in business. But if we don't, which Tottenham DNA, and then we continue with the
Oh,
culture.
your accent. Tottenham.
Tottenham.
That's a good attempt at a Cockney accent.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So
yeah.
okay. So I think that we have to sign many players, and also we've got to sell Deadwood. Oh, and I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
And whoever's watching this, please comment your answer. So, would you rather sell Shizoko, Lamella, and Winks? So they're all wrapped up, but we don't replace them. Would you rather that? Or just keep them?
No, sell them. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't care about replacing them. We don't need to replace like Chizoko particularly. We've got Ndombele, Javier, Lesotho,
Yeah, yeah.
Escape. You know,
Oh, yeah,
Winks and
yeah.
Chizoko, I don't particularly replace it. Like I'd want a right winger to replace Lamella, and I'd also look at offers for Lucas Moura as well. But yeah, I would say I'd rather sell them because I think we can get like in total a good. I'm going to say a good 50 million for all three in total.
Yeah. 50 million is fair, I think, for all of them.
So like 30 million for Winks and then 10 million each on Sissoko and Lamella.
Yeah.
Maybe even 60, like 20, 30, and then 15, something like that. But yeah.
Yeah, and then Daddy can leave next season, and then we're good for the future. And I think that's all wrapped up. Yeah, I think the third episode is wrapped up. Or did you have anything more to say?
No, I think that's a wrap on the third episode. I just thank you for watching again and listening. And let's hope that by the time we do the next podcast, which should be quite soon, if we sign a couple of players, that we've signed some players and that the naming rights deal is over the line. So thank you, Wakash, for being the guest, and I appreciate you watching, listening, commenting, and we'll see you soon for another episode of